G'day and welcome to the In Front of I'm Execute. Today I'm joined by Mr. Seer the Sixth. And today we're going to be doing an updated Vanguards Buyer's Guide. The last time we did this, it was obviously only 3 variants. There's now 4. It's been through a whole rework since then. And the ships are in a very different place to the way they were last time, good and bad. And we're going to go through them. So there's quite a bit here to cover today. So I think we'll just start off with the Sentinel. Not the Sentinel, god damn it. The Harvard, no, wrong one. Warden and work our way up. I got there eventually. Starting to sound like my mother. So Seer, kick us off with the Warden, and what do you think?
Okay, Warden, supposed to be the heavy fighter.
Yeah.
Supposed to have the best speed between SCM and top speed, and a little bit better agility. Good armor all around, not too light, not too heavy. Goldilocks zone kind of thing. Like, you know, it's just about right. So then you still have that happy medium. And then you have an escape pod for a game mechanic that was made in 2013 that we still have no idea what's going to be yet. So, I mean, I could go on forever about the Vanguard Warden, but I still think it's not in a good place because, yes, everything's supposed to be swappable and unique, but rather than escape pod, why do I want, like, for me, if I don't really, if you go read Death of the Spaceman and make your own argument, but to me, Death of the Spaceman doesn't have permadeath, so rather than me getting taxed on some cash and stuff that I have, I don't care about an escape pod. I don't care about an escape pod that you have to get out of your chair, run to, and then it pops out. When most escape pods, you just press a button or you double click something and boom, you go straight out like you should, because it should be immediate.
Almost sounds like the pod will go down the ship and the only people in the thing will escape. So yeah, I think it's going to be really I think it's going to be really circumstantial that the pilot will even make it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. So
the other one
that is mainly it.
The other one there is the Hoplite. While it is probably the worst dropship in the game, what you're really getting is the flexibility to change into 3 other ships. So there is a little bit of jaw card there with this ship. It's kind of like a jack of all trades, this ship.
You also lose missile hard points. Under the belly, you lose your 2 size 4 hard points.
Same armor as the Warden, so medium armor. And we'll bring these up, but the armor itself, we don't really know what they're going to do in game yet. So until that's fully explained, we kind of can go, it's got this, but we don't know how to add it to the equation of what it's going to, what effect it's going to have on the ship. Yeah, so the Hoplite is interesting to me. I think as probably being the worst dropship, but the ability to switch out to make money in another profession is a really strong thing that none of the other dropships have. Obviously, they're all kind of super niche. But as you said, you lose some hard points, so therefore you'd almost take any other variant and put
it's a beginner's dropship.
But you'd put that pod into any of the other dropships, would you not? Into the other variants and just make it a stronger, more dedicated version. I just find it really strange why anyone would buy the Hoplite off the default, but that's just me. Sentinel, EMP placeholder at the moment.
Yep.
Meant to have EMP missiles like the Banu.
Of all of them.
Yep. Light armor. EMP missiles like the Banu Defender, but they're not in the game at the moment.
EMP missiles or charges. It's kind of a gray area, so don't
we'll see what they
get triggered at us. We don't even know what's supposed to be yet, really.
Yeah.
Supposed to have its AR flight deck, not in yet. EMP capabilities not even in yet.
Yeah. So and they've said themselves they don't know what that's going to do. So there's, I think, probably the most up in the air version is the Sentinel. Yet it is the most owned version of all the variants, which is also really interesting. So there's a lot of people wanting to know what those things do, yet there's just no clarification on what they do. And then obviously you've also got the Harbinger. Now the Harbinger has more armor than anything else.
The heaviest.
But then you look at things like the torpedoes. The Gladiator gets one more torpedo. Yeah, about half the price.
Doesn't have the redundancy, doesn't have the range though. Doesn't have the
So there's pros and cons.
Range are big ones.
So there's pros and cons to that Harbinger over other ships, but the real draw card again that you'll come back to again and again and again when you talk to the Vanguards is the ability to be 3 other ships. And that is what this ship really fundamentally what you're buying in for. You are buying 4 ships for the price of one through that mechanic of being able to swap out that pod.
Yeah, bucks
That's what
are
you're
really
paying
no
for.
longer a thing. You just buy the modules and you just put them in and out, which is I don't think is really fair because you promise people bucks and then it evolves. So how are people going to get money back for the bucks that we thought we were going to be able to use? They're not going to give us refunds, and it's fair that things evolve, but it's like bucks no longer a thing. And if you bought a buck, you just get the extra weapons.
Yep.
So you basically bought what, $25 to get a couple weapons that will cost you maybe 100,000 in game.
I'll probably melt them and put them into another ship. I've got 2 of them.
I would melt them. I would definitely melt them so you could buy a Caracat CitizenCon. Boom. End of the video. We're going home. Thank you very much. I'm just kidding.
We're already home, but it's all good. All right, so let's go into likes and dislikes, because that's kind of where I'm heading now, where I'm saying you look at this ship and it's what you're paying for is a multi-role vessel, and the roles that they've given them, they are never going to be the best at that role. And I could be wrong, but that is the feeling I get. And what I mean by that is you look at the Warden, it's got some weird issues. You look at the Sentinel, it's got some weird issues. You look at the Harbinger, it's got some weird issues. And you look at the Hoplite, and it's not the best dropship. So what you're getting is like a Swiss Army knife, like a cheap shit Swiss Army knife. Like, they're all dull blades and they don't quite work the right way.
It's not that shit. It's not like you went to Harbor Freight and bought a knife. You probably don't know what Harbor Freight is.
Okay, let me give you an example. If the a good dropship is, say, a 10, this might be an 8, right? But it's never...
That's still not bad.
No, it's not bad.
An 8 out of 10? Come on, man.
I'm trying to give a generalized
perspective
here, and you ruined my jam, but that's fine. The point I'm trying to make is no ship that does multiple things should, in theory, be the best at it. The other ship that's kind of like this that I believe, and you correct me if you think I'm wrong, and the interpretation I'll give is the Constellation series. So the Constellation series has variants, and they all kind of do slightly different things, and they're all kind of jack of all trades, but they don't really do the best thing in any one thing because of that. But this ship, unlike the variants of the Constellation, can just swap a pod and be the other ships, right? So really, when you're looking at this ship, you almost need to take the Warden pod, the Sentinel pod, the Harbinger pod, and the Hoplite pod out of the fucking equation, because they can go into any other ship, and literally what you're looking at is just the hull and the armor and the hard points, right?
Yeah.
If you strip that down... Sorry, go ahead.
It should have just been called the Vanguard. It shouldn't have been the Vanguard, Warden, Hoplite, and Sentinel. It should have just been the Vanguard. Here are the different kits you can buy.
You can't sell that, sir. That's why.
I know you can't sell that, but it's like, why do you need to buy all 4 ships now when you can literally get the Warden, and rather than the EMP and the torpedoes, like you can just get the modules when the game comes out.
Yeah. So
if you're buying 4 different ships.
If you take the pods out, the Hoplite, correct me if I'm wrong, loses the most because it's only medium armor and you lose the hard points. The default,
you lose 2 size 4 hard points for your missiles, which is huge.
The Harbinger with the armor basically is the best armor, and it's got the same guns. Sentinel's light armor
and the best missiles. Yeah. And the best missiles because you have 3 size.
So really, when you strip it down, I think there's only 2 versions. And in short, I think it's the Warden and the Harbinger, when you're just looking at just the bodies. Harbinger because it's got the most and it's got the extra missiles, and the Warden because it's the middle of the road, and one of the parts that we're theorizing armor's going to go, and this is the only kind of speculation we can give you on armor, is it is probably going to go very similarly to how Star Marine armor goes. So you've got light, medium, and heavy, and it affects your movement. So in the case of ships, it would affect your thrust and rotation.
It already affects your movement.
So something like a Harbinger will move slower than the Sentinel, and because the Sentinel's got light armor. And then when you look at the Warden and Hoplite, they're probably going to be maybe the best all round because they've got a little bit of armor, but not heaps slowing it down. But they've never said that you can't take armor from a ship to another yet. A lot of people are theorizing that it'll be fixed, because if you look at the ships that have armor at the moment, you've got things like the Starfarer Gemini, the Misk, all those ships that you see painted green in that military-ish color.
That olive drab green.
Apparently that's the armor. So if it's actually physically changing the color of your ship and the style, it may be fixed to your ship. And if it's fixed, that then makes a lot of difference. So if the Harbinger has physically more armor, and we don't know exactly how armor is going to work in the game, but let's just say it's a good thing. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
But most likely that's what, like, having armor is going to be better than no armor.
Theoretically, armor is in, but it's just a damage reduction value. It's not really the actual armor.
They stated they didn't want it to be that. They didn't want it to just be another version of shields.
It's a placeholder. Like many things, it's a placeholder, which I get it, I understand.
Yeah. But until we're given information on where that's going to lead to, or even where they're thinking it's going to go to, all you can assume is that heavy will somehow stop more than medium or light armor. And then, obviously, to balance that, much like the Star Marine armor, you're probably going to move slower or rotate slower or something akin to that effect. So it might just only affect you in the atmosphere. Like at the moment, technically, the Starfarer Gemini is heavier than the Starfarer. And it's got less cargo space because it's got the armor that makes it physically heavier.
Yep.
So it might be something that literally just comes down to in atmosphere. So on something like, say, the Hoplite, that might have a negative effect. But then on something like, say, the Sentinel, if you could take a Harbinger and put the Sentinel pod in it, it might be an advantage. Yeah. We just have to wait and see.
So my overall gripes is the fact that, again, the Warden being a heavy fighter, I still don't think where it's supposed to be. The guns overall, they had plenty of time to change it. But I understand the point of it was to keep everything focused on the front, keep everything towards the front. Fine, I understand. But the community as a whole, most of the people are like, they wanted that to change. They wanted to fix size 2 to be able to be gimbaled size 1. What's up?
I was going to say, I think you need to say that we were going to do our positives and our negatives, but you're going into the negatives, so let's just talk about the negatives.
I'm just going to say all my gripes. I'm just going to say all my gripes and then go on my positives. I always like to see the bad and build off of the good.
Okay, all right.
It's like, well, I'm going to say all the good things, then tear you down with all the bad. That's going to make you feel like crap when you walk away. No, I'm not going to do that. I mean...
All right.
I mean, this isn't the Marine Corps.
But I'm agreeing with you. My biggest gripe with this ship is the guns. The ship just doesn't seem as powerful as it was before the rework. It definitely looks a lot more like the concept. That's great.
It's cool.
They heard people on that.
But it's functionality over aesthetics.
Yeah, they didn't 100%. Hear the community on the guns. And it's one of, I think there's only 2 or 3 ships that I can think of and they've said this themselves, they want to have both guns or set groups of guns that match. So all fixed or all gimbaled. And the fact that this comes with gimbaled and fixed, and I can't change it.
It throws you off. It
pisses me off.
You might as well give it a fixed size 5. So I mean, the Vanguard Warden is supposed to be able to combat ships that are smaller than it, all the way up to ships that are larger than it, but still in a really gray zone. Unless you have a lot of experience with the Vanguard, it is really, really hard to take on smaller ships. And if you're going up against someone who's like a really good pilot in a smaller size ship, it's not even worth it to try to go against them with a Vanguard because they're just gonna. It's just like it's a jousting battle.
Yep.
That's all it's going to be. By the time you turn around, bleed your airspeed, and bleed your inertia, and then finally get back on target,
you just can't stay on target.
If you stay at your SCM speed, so you can still roll with them, you get into a turn fight, and if you mess up just a little bit, that person, the small ship's going to get on you. And that's supposed to be the Warden. It's supposed to be that's the name of the Warden itself. It's supposed to be good at what it does.
It can't fight. It's a long-range fighter that can't fight.
Yeah,
that's in a nutshell.
Going all the way to the fight to lose. That's basically it. Someone said that when I first talked about the Warden on my YouTube channel, and he made perfect sense there.
It's like a long walk off a short. Well, it's not even a short pier. It's like a long walk off a long pier. Do you know what I mean? Like you're just walking straight off into the water. You're just wasting your whole time.
Yeah, you're just drowning. So there's my next gripe is the Harbinger. The Harbinger, I like the Harbinger. For me, that is the true heavy fighter because it's designed to take on ships bigger than it. Yep. But it makes no sense that, okay, cool, I'm designed to take on ships bigger than it. It has a gun that currently is bugged still. The Combine. I love the Combine. They just need to fix the splash damage mechanic for it, and then it'll be fine again. But still, why would you use a gimbal size 4 if you're going up against larger ships? No, I'm going to use an M7A.
My main problem with the Harbinger is what is the point of having a ship with only 3 torpedoes if it's a super long range fighter? You're going to fire those torpedoes
That
and then you've got to go home.
Okay,
It needs
so when
way more torpedoes. Way more.
I feel like it needs 5 torpedoes. I feel like it needs extra 2 that are somewhere.
You want my
That are
honest
just
opinion?
somewhere.
I think it needs double what the
Huh.
Gladiator's got to even be relevant. Because like those beds need to go. I actually think that almost the entire side of it needs to be rearranged. I think
So basically, like the
yeah.
Freelancer Miss. It's sad. So many people
Yes.
are saying the Freelancer Miss is their heavy fighter, and it makes sense because the Freelancer Miss is in such a good spot in
Was it
terms of its missile flexibility.
52?
It's nasty.
Is it 52
Um,
missiles? I can't remember the size, but something like 52 of them.
it
It's
has
ridiculous.
20 inside, and then I think it has like I think standard. You could put 50 inside once you alter your racks, but I don't think it comes standard with 50.
Mm,
But I mean that's a different story.
yeah.
But I mean, yeah, the Freelancer Miss is basically it's a gunship, but it's really a heavy fighter.
Mm.
That's probably one of it takes up a lot of it may be slower,
And it's
but
got
I
the
mean, shoot.
four gimbaled guns. Makes
Yeah,
the biggest
if
difference.
you know how to keep your distance, if you can keep your distance with the Freelancer Miss, and anybody will know that okay, well, do I really want to go against this ship? Let me think about this.
Yeah.
I may be dealing with someone with a stock loadout or someone that's good. But I mean, again, I don't want to talk about the Freelancer Misses, about the
Yeah.
Vanguards.
Well,
It's
let's get
sad.
back to the Vanguard then. But I don't want to go down a rabbit hole here. But the turret also becomes a problem because if you're trying to keep that fixed gun as a pilot on a moving target, the turret is also having to adjust it. Now, yeah, obviously turret gameplay is probably going to improve, hopefully, but
Right now, it's still in a good spot.
it's twice as bad when he's fixed and he has to keep moving. Most of the really good turret guns at the moment, and there's not a lot of them, the pilot tends to stay kind of stationary and the turret moves to engage. This, the pilot's trying to engage and the turret's trying to engage, it just becomes a sloppy mess. So it's not in the best place.
There is a little bit of a workaround. You just gotta alter your gyro mode, and that helps a little bit. And then the lag pip issue that really throws me off. I really think you should be able to choose between lag and lead pip.
Yep.
And I really think that turrets should have auto gimbals too, because you would have a size 1 auto gimbal instead of a size 2. I would really like size 1 auto gimbals for a lot of ships that hold size 2 guns. I
Yep.
think that would be nice. But I mean, they're probably not going to add it, so there's no point.
I actually think this is a totally different discussion. But I was going to say, I actually think gimbals should not drop a size. I just think they should drop their fire rate or something like that. I think they need to be balanced in a more accurate way.
You know, it used to be that. You know that, right? You
Mm,
used to just be able to gimbal a gun. Then they did the whole thing
yep.
back a long time ago in Ring Commander.
Hmm.
So that was supposed to be the balance for it. But now auto gimbals are the meta. So there's no point running fixed,
I'm
really.
sure we'll do a show on that at some point because there's a massive can of worms there.
There's been so many shows
All
on
right, so
that.
getting
Oh,
back
good.
to the Vanguards, is there
The
anything?
Sentinel.
The Sentinel? You want to talk about Sentinel? Go ahead.
The Sentinel is probably my favorite one because it's basically, if you know what you're doing with it, yeah, you may be weaker, but with that EMP, you put a lot of people in a vulnerable state and you have a higher reach compared to all the other interdiction interceptor EMP ships, which is the Warlock, the Saber Raven, and the Hawk. You actually have a bigger reach with your EMP. So, and then again, I chose the Sentinel because I don't give a crap about the starting loadout. The size 4 attrition, yeah, it's good. But I love it when when some people decides to engage me and then I destroy them. They're like, "What? I don't get it. How you kill me? Like your weapons don't even work, Seer." And I'm just like, "You fool. You really think I'm going to run the stock loadout? No.
Mm.
I never run stock loadout. I always upgrade. That's your ignorance, my friend." So that's why I like the Sentinel
It's
because
interesting you kind of mention that because that's kind of going to be the kind of cool thing with this ship. You can make your ship look like one, but it's going to act like another. I think if you like
mine was basically
unintentionally,
a Warden with an EMP.
yeah,
That's all it
but
was.
unintentionally, you've actually kind of talked about this ship in a nutshell. You can make it look a Harbinger, but act like a Sentinel. You can have it look like a Sentinel, but act like a Hoplite. You can literally kind of hide what you're doing with this
Deception.
ship. Yeah, it's naturally deceptive, which is going to be interesting. This ship is for one of those people that don't have a lot of money, but they want flexibility. I
Yeah.
think in the long term, when they fix out a lot of these issues, and let's be honest, if you look at it on a scale of all the problems with this game, they are fixing issues. It's just taking them a long bloody time.
Boom. Issues.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
They're going to get there. This ship will get there. It just needs a little bit more love. We just have to be persistent enough with, excuse me, that they keep pushing it.
Guys, server-side OCS is going to fix all the bugs. Don't worry. All of them magically disappear.
No.
With Handwadium Code Fixium. Just kidding.
Is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
Mercury Star Runner's life.
Okay.
Just kidding. I mean, I sincerely say this in the bottom of my heart. I love the Vanguards with all my heart. That's why it hurts me to see the direction they have gone. My second ship I've ever bought was the Vanguard Warden original concept. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, boom, that's the ship I want. Because for some reason, to me, it reminded me of the F-14 Tomcat. I felt like you launch off, you're a long range, you go in, you want to intercept those bigger ships, you want to take them down so they don't hurt the fleet. I literally bought my Warden so I can take on the Retaliator.
Yeah.
That was the purpose. I wanted to be the guy that interdicts the Retaliator. Then I was like, I don't need the Warden for that. I can get the Harbinger because I have bigger torpedoes. I mean, I have torpedoes. The Warden can't carry that. So I was like, forget the Warden. If I'm going against the Tally, get a Harbinger. So that's why I mainly switched.
Yeah, I brought in for the flexibility, the fact that it was a ship that did multiple things.
That's fair. I love all of them.
Yeah, and I do think they have their place, and I think as you come up, it's going to be a really good stepping stone ship because it's going to allow you to do multiple things and be really
and the
flexible.
Redundancy. That's the huge thing. A lot of medium-sized ships.
So
within its
coolers,
weight class.
Two coolers,
two
two
shields,
shields,
and power plants, one QT drive because I never could say quantum.
and one scanner suite or whatever it is. So that's the one under the stairs. Yeah, one ping.
Radar.
It's under the radar. It's under the stairs. Yeah. So there's some things that aren't redundant.
It's in ghost form.
I think the weak spot will be taken out. The warp drive.
The critical systems to keep the ship alive is what you get redundancy for.
Yeah.
You want two of everything in that, and a lot of ships within its weight class, i.e., the Freelancer family and the Cutlasses, they don't have that. They don't have two power plants. So what I've figured out over time is that if you want to run better shield generators for your ship, which is theoretically what you want, you have to upgrade your power plant because your standard power plant does not have the necessary power output for shields that require more power because they give you better defensive capabilities, whether better recharge rating or better health pool overall. So that is why the Wardens, the Vanguards, altogether are good because you don't have to buy two power plants because I think one of the best ones you can buy is the Maelstrom. That's like 90,000 UEC. And Execute, do you want to go to Freelancer Miss, upgrade your shields just to figure out you need a better power plant and then dump another 90,000 UEC? Exactly. That is why the Wardens are so nice. You don't need to buy one really good power plant. You can have two power plants and still be able to buy those nicer systems without having to worry about your ship shutting down because it's gravitating toward shield recharge rate, which is one of the most heavy power consumptions you can get. Your initial one's crazy, is meh, but once you start recharging over time, once you start taking damage, that also takes power. So it's like, it's that happy medium. I'm getting into tactical stuff and people are like, what? With their eye crossing. So, I mean, I need to calm down.
It's all good. Rant over. But I think, look, the takeaway for me is that if they give this ship a bit more love, then you guys will get to see me and see you do another Vanguard buyer's guide.
Backflip.
We'll do another.
This will be a cartwheel.
We'll do our third Vanguard buyer's guide. Hopefully, it's not too far away. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Sia, or all good?
No.
All right.
I think I've said everything.
All right, I'm going to wrap it up then. So if you like this video, hit us up on Patreon. Even just $1 will help us out. Get us some new gear and stuff. You can hit us up on Discord as well if you'd like a chat. In the comments below, I'd like to see, how do you guys feel about the weapons on the Vanguard series? Do you think it really holds it back like we've been suggesting?
Or just the Vanguards in general.
Yeah. What is your favorite Vanguard? Or do you find that they are really interchangeable like we've suggested? And if you are just talking about hulls, which is your favorite hull of the 4 hulls? Yeah, it's different for everyone. All right, so we read every comment. We might not reply to everyone, but we definitely read everyone. Other than that,
I can't read.
He's been C the 6th that can't read, and I'll be Execute who can read. And we'll catch you guys next time. Bye.